Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to askNK. Today we're taking a look at Stylized Forest Generator from Sheep, and this is a very simple and interesting tool that allows artists to create interesting stylized forests, and this comes with about 10 ready to use forest presets that you can work with alongside 250 stylized plant assets, which includes trees, bushes, flowers, grasses, lotus leaves, fallen trees, and stylized materials. And for those who like to take a look at this, or possibly you like to get this is currently doing a 35% off, and right now you can simply go over to the link in the description and I'll bring you right here where you'll be able to grab it. And with that said, let's dive right into Blender and explore this beautiful tool. So with Blender simply open up right here, how you get things going is pretty simple. If you already have the add-on, all you need to do is drag and drop this right inside of Blender. Click on OK to install the add-on, and how you confirm that this has been installed is by simply going over to Edit, go over to Preference, go over here where you have your add-ons, and you notice that you've got Stylized Forest Generator installed. So you can click on the burger menu, save your preference, and close the window. Now once you tap in on the keyboard, you would notice that you've got the Stylized Forest right here. And working with this is pretty easy. First off, right here, you would notice that we've got a thumbnail that shows us all of the presets that currently comes with this. And these presets, you can actually go through and start applying them in your scene. Now, in most cases, this might ask you to fix your settings. So you can simply click right there and it automatically fixes your scenes. And this automatically sets up your asset browser for you as well. So you can have access to the plants alongside several assets that comes with these once you access your asset browser. Now, with that out of the way, for us to actually get things going, all we need to do is to click on Add. Actually, select any of the ones that you want, and then you can click on Add. In this case, we'll have this one selected and we'll click on Add. What we'll be getting is a plane alongside the vegetations that we want to work with. Of course, you can scale this up and down. However, if you would like to get this fully scaled out, say for some reason you would want this to just scale all the way out, what you can do is to jump into the edit mode, and within the edit mode, once you start scaling the plane, you will notice that all of this starts scaling, which is really good. So again, depending on what you're trying to do, you can either scale this way, or you can leave it the way they are and work with them. So from here, you can start making changes to stuff. First things you will notice right here, once you have this selected, is you have different kinds of vertex group. And with this vertex group, you can paint ponds, snows, grasses, and of course, you can just simply paint across all of that. If you go all the way down, you will be able to do some switching. Say for example, you like to turn on or turn off certain things, you can. So if we turn off the grass, you notice that we have the grass turned off. If we turn off the rocks, so you can see the rock automatically disappears. We can do the same for the tree and for the fallen leaves. Right here, you notice that we've got particle. Now particles wouldn't work because there's basically no particle here, but we can turn that on, and I'll show you how you can do that in a bit. If we go all the way down to where we have optimize, we can actually do some optimization for this. If we would like to optimize the viewport, we can do that. If we would like to just simply turn on lightweight stuff, we can turn on lightweight stuff, turn this off. If we would like to turn on and turn off camera optimization, which is basically camera culling, we can also go ahead and do that. So if we just simply turn this on right now, you would notice that we are looking at stuff based off something, but it is not exactly this camera. This is going to give you a better view of what we're doing. So if you take a look at that from here, and if I have the camera selected, press 0 on the keyboard and simply tie this. If we move our camera, you notice we're not really having camera culling. The reason is because with this selected, we haven't actually specified the camera. So what we'll do is to go right here and specify the camera. And once we do that and we start playing with the camera view width, this is going to only display what is within the view of the camera. So at this point, if we move the camera to a point like this, you would notice from this part that we're just viewing what the camera sees. And that is going to help with optimization because Blender wouldn't care about any of the things happening there. And we can also do the same thing right here. So in this case, if you're working with a large scene, this is definitely going to come in very handy. Jumping all the way out of the camera, let's also explore a couple more things. So down here, we have materials. This is where you can change and play with the materials. Right over here, we have assets, and here is where you can play with some of the assets and do cool stuff. So in this case, if we turn on to swap certain assets, we can do that. Say for example, I'd like to swap this. What we can do is to go ahead and go over to our asset browser, and we're going to find a specific asset. So trees, for example, there are tons of trees right here. Maybe we would like to swap the tree. What I can do is to simply drag this particular tree and drop it within the viewport. So we have that as asset 014. With this selected, if we press M on the keyboard, we can actually add this to a new collection, and I'm just going to call this 314. And so once we have that done, we can go back here, scroll all the way down, go over to the tree, and we would select 314. And that asset will be used to swap out this other asset right here. You can have this selected, tap H on the keyboard to hide it. So that way you can swap various assets. Within the paint section is where you can turn on or turn off painting floras. If you like to paint flora, you can turn this on. If you like to paint snow, you can also turn this on or turn it off. If you go all the way down here, you also have various parameters for like global densities, global scaling, strength, and all that stuff. You also have that for grasses. The same thing for the rock. You can play with different types of rock. I believe this is more like seeding the rocks itself. Within the tree, we can also play with different variations of the tree. We can play with the scaling of the tree. So we like to scale this a little bit down. We can do that. Falling leaves, pond rocks also have theirs. Particles also has its own, and also snow has its own. Now for particles, let's actually explain how this particle thing works. So for this one, what I'll do is just turn off all of these. Now, if you press your playback button, so if you just simply press the playback button with nothing there, you notice nothing happens. However, if we would like to have a particle, let's say we would like Suzanne to be our particle in this case, what we can do is we can simply have this selected, and I'm going to tap M on the keyboard, and we're just going to call this monkey particle. So once we have that and we select our plane, we can go all the way down, make sure that within the switch we have the particle turned on, and we can go all the way down to where we have our assets, and we'll specify the monkey particle. So once we have that and we press the playback button, you would notice that we now have particle. This would work very well if you're thinking about, making things like snow particles and stuff. This is definitely going to work very well in that regard. And because now we have this particle, what we can do is we can now go all the way down to where we have our particles and make some changes. So we can drop the scale of the particle and increase the density. If you like to have a bit of fluttering, you can have that. If you like to invert this, maybe you like the particles to travel upwards, you can also do all of that. And now that this is animating, I think it's a good time to actually talk about the animation feature that comes with this. Because if we go all the way up and we turn on every single thing, animation is fully supported with this. So if we press the playback button, you would notice that we're now having animation. Now let's talk about weight painting. So for weight painting, how this one works is pretty simple. In this case, if we like to paint the pond, what we need to do is to come through and have this model piece selected, go over to where we have our vertex painting and click on the weight paint mode. Now this is going to bring us to weight paint mode where we can start painting stuff. Now for proper visibility, what we're going to do is to simply go all the way down, go to the switch section and turn all of this off so we can actually see what we're doing. So if we come back here, click on this button, we can now press F on the keyboard to scale this all the way up and start painting. And so once we start painting, you would notice that this starts moving things around. And that way we can actually tell that something is going on. So once we're done with what we want, we can click on this button and get right back here. And of course, you can now see that we have our pond. So basically what this is doing is to push the vertices of the topper plane all the way down. Now for those who would like to paint snow, of course you can also paint snow. But before we paint snow, if we turn all of this back on, you can now see how things looks, which is pretty cool. Now to paint the snow, what I would suggest that you do is basically the same thing. But for snow, you need to simply go all the way down, go over to paint and turn on paint snow. The same thing can also be said for paint flora as well. So for the paint snow, you can see that the vertex name or the vertex group we're painting on is snow. And for flora, what you'll be doing is to use the paint vertex group to actually paint that. So for the snow, we're simply going to go all the way back here, click to turn this on, and we can start painting. So basically for this one, once you're painting across, you're actually deleting the snow. So if we go all the way back, you can see that. So if we turn this back on, you can of course also see the same thing. Actually, if we turn this off, you can see things a bit clearer. So we can paint the snow all the way out. If we like to paint the snow back in, what we need to do is to drop the weight all the way back to 0. And once we start painting, you will see things come back. Of course, we can go ahead and turn all of these on and they look pretty cool. So in terms of painting stuff, you do have that. Something else which is also pretty interesting that you might want to explore are the assets. So there is a ton of assets right here. So if we simply go over to the asset browser, scroll all the way down to where we have the tree and also the rocks, the plants, you do notice that you have a good number of these things. So you can have any of them, select them, drag them into your viewport, and start using them to beautify your scene. Of course, at any point in time, if you're thinking about scaling your scene, you can scale them. And at any point in time, if you're thinking about using cycles to drive stuff, you can, of course, also use that to drive the rendering of your scene. This is just an impressive tool for anyone that's thinking about creating stylized forest. And if you're thinking about something that has animation, a ton of assets that you can use, and also controls that you can use across literally every single object or everything that comes with this, then by every means go ahead and check this out. Currently, this is doing a 35% off, and for anyone that's thinking about grabbing it, this might be a wonderful time for you to go through and check it out. Tell me what you guys think about this one in the comment section. And of course, if you like this video or you learned something from this, you can go ahead and give a like, and don't forget to share with a friend. And I'd like to see you guys in the next one. Peace.